evening, I'm Althea Mae Enabacan, and we have a fascinating exploration of the science of the behavior for you today.
That's right, Althea. Psychology studies the mind and human behavior.
It's not just about the mind. It's about our emotions, motivations, and actions. It's a captivating journey into the human experience.
From its origin in the late 19th century with pioneers like Wilhelm Wundt and Sigmund Freud, psychology has evolved into diverse branches, each aiming to unravel different aspects of our cognition, emotions, and behavior. Indeed, psychology's rigorous research methods, including experiments and statistical analysis, contributes invaluable insights to various fields like education, therapy, business, and social policy. The beauty of psychology lies in its ability to bridge the gap between the observable and the hidden dimensions of human existence. It explores the interplay of nature and nurture, biology and environment, and conscious and unconscious processes. And psychology isn't just theoretical. It plays a pivotal role in addressing real-world challenges, from enhancing mental well-being to understanding and mitigating psychological disorders.
Psychology is like a tapestry that unravels the complexities of human nature, offering us self-discovery, empathy, and deeper understanding of human experience. We've come a long way from early superstitions of primitive societies. Today, psychology is defined as the science of behavior. So, whether you call it the study of the soul or the study of the mind, psychology remains a captivating and challenging field that continues to enrich ourselves and society. Psychology employs the scientific method to understand why people behave the way they do. This makes it a true science. And what exactly do we mean by behavior? Well, behavior encompasses everything we do, from speaking, eating, walking, reading, and more.
It's not just what's visible though. Behavior can be divided into two categories. One is overt, which can be observable that you can see people, and covert, which is the thought of a person or their feelings or their emotions or motives that we can't see.
So what are the goals of psychology? There are 4 key objectives: describe behavior, explain behavior, predict behavior, change and control behavior. Describing behavior is about understanding how humans and animals behave, which help us differentiate what's between normal and abnormal. Explaining behavior involves unraveling causes behind it. Throughout history, numerous theories have emerged to explain various aspects of human behavior. Predicting behavior is the third goal, which allows us to anticipate how organisms will act in specific situations through observations and other methods. Last but not the least, the third goal is to control or change behavior. A desirable way to achieve particular goals, psychology strives to make positive and lasting changes of people's lives.
Are you tired of boring beverages that leave your taste buds stranded in flavorless oblivion?
Introducing Freezy Fusion!
It's not just a drink, it's a tidal wave of taste that'll knock your socks off. Freezy Fusion is the drink that turns every moment into celebration. Feel the bubbles tickle your taste bud and ignite your senses. Cheers to a world of fun, flavor, and fizz. Grab your Fizzy Fusion now and make every moment a party. Fizzy Fusion, because life's too short for bland drinks. Unleash the Fizztastic experience today.
And now, we're diving into the relevance of studying psychology in today's world and exploring the historical background of this fascinating field.
That's right, Althea. Psychology is not just science. It's a key to understand human behavior, emotions, and cognition, which is a vital personal growth, societal progress, and more.
Indeed, studying psychology equips individuals with self-awareness, emotional regulation, and coping strategies, leading to improved mental health and overall well-being.
But it's not just about personal growth. Psychology has a broader impact on society. It informs education, healthcare, business, and policy making.
Educational psychologists optimize learning environments. Clinical psychologists diagnose and treat medical disorders. And in a corporate world, understanding behavior enhances employee engagement and productivity. And let's not forget the significance of psychology in addressing modern challenges from the effects of technology, tackling addiction and ethical dilemmas related to AI and automation. In essence, psychology serves as a cornerstone for individual well-being and societal progress. Its insights empower us to lead healthier lives, and its application shape the fabric of our society. Now, let's turn our attention to the historical background of psychology that will be discussed by News Anchor 2.
When it first emerged as a science, there was a debate of how to describe and explain the human mind and behavior. The pioneers of psychology like William Wundt gave birth to the school of structuralism, which sought to understand the structure of conscious experience through classifying sensations. Later on, functionalism led by figures like William James took a different approach, focusing on the function of mental processes and the practical aspects of psychology. Associationism, which is rooted in the idea that the mind is composed of sensations and idea, like Aristotle, Edward Thorndike, John Locke, and Thomas Hobbes, led the foundation for associationism, emphasizing the information of bonds or connections in the nervous system as a basis of learning. Connectionist purpose, everything around us can be explained. Association, a concept that influenced modern psychology.
Moving on to behaviorism, a school of thought that suggests that all behavior can be explained by environmental causes. Behaviorism focuses on observable behavior and relationship between stimuli and responses. Think John Watson, L.E. Thorndike, Ivan Pavlov, and B.F. Skinner. Their work paved the way for understanding habit information and the influence of environmental factors on behavior. Next, we have the Gestalt psychology, which challenges reductionists to approach of structuralism. Max Weber, Wolfgang Köhler, and Kurt Koffka believe in understanding phenomenon by studying the whole, not just breaking them down into elements. The Gestalt, the whole is more than the sum of its parts. This explores how people perceive and experience objects, emphasizing meaning over size, texture, and color. Psychoanalytical school founded by legendary Sigmund Freud. The school delves into the famous of the unconscious mind and behavior, with Freud's famous qualitative model in ID, ego, and superego. Freud's libido theory, the role of to repress motives and cravings in the unconscious mind, are central in this school of thought.
Moving on to Alfred Adler and Carl Jung were advocates of psychoanalysis, with Jung exploring extroversion and introversion, and Adler emphasizing the desire for superiority. Erik Erikson, another influential figure, expanded upon Freud's theory and introduced the psychosocial stage theory, which still influences our understanding of human development. Humanistic psychology, which emerged as a response of psychoanalysis and behaviorism. Figures like Abraham Maslow and Carl Rogers championed individual free will, personal growth, and the concept of self-actualization. Unlike early schools of thought that often centered on abnormal human behavior, humanistic psychology emphasized helping people achieve and fulfill their potential, making it quite popular today and influential in positive psychology. Another fascinating branch is purposivism, developed by William McDougall. This approach, also known as hormic psychology, believes that everything from objects to behavior has a definite purpose. Purposivists view human beings as striving organisms, strongly opposing the mechanistic or behavioristic perspectives.
Now, let's explore the major branches of psychology that examine different aspects of human thought and behavior. General psychology delves into the basic principles, problems, and methods underlying of the science. Psychology, emphasizing structural and functional mechanisms. Comparative psychology focuses on the study of animal behavior, offering insights into human psychology through a deeper understanding of animal behavior. Developmental psychology, on the other hand, examines human growth and change throughout the lifespan, and it encompassing physical, emotional, intellectual, social, perceptual, and personality development. And genetic psychology investigates the influence of genetic factors on personality development, looking at the interplay of genes and environment. Child psychology focuses on the mental and emotional development of children from prenatal stages through adolescence, including physical and social aspects. And the other one is the adolescent psychology. It explores the transition from childhood to adulthood, covering the teenage years and the attainment of emotional and social maturity.
Senescent psychology is a specialty area that addresses the concerns and issues of old age, including the forgetfulness and the challenges of dealing with illnesses in later life. Consumer psychology investigates on how beliefs, feelings, and perceptions influence people's buying habits and relationship with goods and services. Moving on to abnormal psychology, a branch dedicated to understanding psychopathology and abnormal behavior, encompassing a broad range of disorders from depression to sexual deviations. Moving on, we have dynamic psychology, which interprets drives and motive as the cause of behavior. This branch, often referred as a personality psychology, explores the understanding of a normal individual causes. This is psychology, another fascinating area, applying psychological principles to business. It's all about understanding consumer behavior and employing psychological methods to attract more customers, make an impression on prospective behaviors. Social psychology is a discipline that uses scientific methods to study influence, perceptions, and social interactions. It delves into the fascinating realm of how people influence one another.
Cognitive psychology. The cognitive psychology is a branch that deals with acquisition, processing, and storage information. It's all about understanding how we think, learn, and remember. Forensic psychology is a specialty that deals with psychology and the law, performing a wide variety of duties from providing court testimony to assessing child abuse cases and evaluating the mental competence of criminal suspects. Don't forget, community psychology, a discipline that promotes health at the community level by treating psychological problems. It's all about evaluating and improving community organizations. These specializations offer a rich selection of professional opportunities, such as catering to different interests, personality, and ability. Within those areas, we find specialties like counseling psychology, which focuses on helping individuals cope with life difficulties, and clinical psychology dedicating to diagnosing, treating emotional and behavioral disorders.
Educational psychology examines how people learn, including student outcomes, the instructional process, and individual differences in learning. While experimental psychology employs scientific method to explore the mind and behavior, attempting to discover the laws that describe manipulate relationship. And let's not forget sociological psychology, which explores the relationship between the physical functioning of an organism and its behavior, seeking to understand the biological factors that influence behavior. Industrial organizational psychology focuses on increasing workplace productivity, ensuring safe working conditions, selecting the right employees for specific jobs, and evaluating performance.
The world of psychology is incredibly diverse, with this specialized area contributing to our understanding of human behavior, cognition, and mental well-being. But to understand the dynamics of psychology and its research methodologies, we need to dig deeper into how psychologists conduct their studies.
Indeed, Althea. Psychologists and researchers employ the scientific method, which involve asking questions, designing studies, collecting data, analyzing results, reaching conclusions, and sharing their findings. The scientific method is a crucial tool in psychology, guiding the research process. Now, let's explore the common research method used in psychology. We start with observational research, where researchers observe ongoing behavior. There are two types of observational research. That is naturalistic observation, where no intervention occurs, and participants observation, where researchers immerse themselves in the environment to gather more intensive data. Case studies involve in the in-depth descriptions and analysis of a single or a few individuals, making them invaluable for intensive investigations. Surveys, on the other hand, are data collection tools to gather information about individuals. They are administered in two ways, through questionnaires to large groups and interviews when respondents are few.
Correlation research is used to look for relationships between variables, helping determine the strengths of these relationships. A strong correlation indicates a strong relationship, while weak correlation suggests a weaker connection. Variables are like key players in psychology experiments, often used to test a hypothesis. The dependent variable is controlled and manipulated by the experimenter, while the independent variable is what's measured. Finally, the experimental method involves manipulating one variable to determine if the causes changes in other variable. This relies on controlled method, random assignment, and manipulation of variables.
And now, let's move on to the intriguing exploration of the relationship between psychology and the other sciences. I'm Althea Mae Enabacan, and we are about to discover how psychology intersects with a variety of other scientific fields.
Right, Althea. Psychology is not an isolated science, but rather draws upon and contributes to the knowledge of several other disciplines.
Biology plays a vital role in psychology, particularly in understanding emotions. Knowledge of the brain's parts and the functions of glands is essential to delve into the study of emotions.
Chemistry also contributes significantly to psychology. It helps explain some behavior disorders once thought of as mental illness by looking at the body's chemistry. Pharmacology, the study of drugs' effects on psychological function, is a prime example leading to the development of athertic, tranquilizing drugs.
Moving on to the relationship between psychology and sociology. We found that sociological data such as population shift, urban and rural living, and trends in voting help psychologists understand individuals' behavior. Social psychology often overlaps with sociology, focusing on individuals and group behavior.
Forget the close connection between psychology and psychiatry. Psychologists and psychiatrists often work together in clinical settings, although their approaches and areas of expertise differ. Psychologists as medical doctors specialize in diagnosing and treating mental disorder, while psychologists focuses on rehabilitation using psychological techniques.
So, as we can see, psychology is not an isolation but is intricately woven into the fabric of various scientific fields, contributing to the benefiting from the accumulated knowledge. And that's the beauty of psychology. It doesn't only provide answers to the fundamental questions about the human condition, but also offers suggestions to improve our quality of life. So the next time you ponder the intricacies of human behavior and workings of the mind, remember it's all part of the exciting world of psychology. Thank you for joining us today on this special broadcast. We've had a fantastic time bringing you exciting world of psychology. I'm Andrea O.
And I'm Althea Mae Enabacan. It's been a pleasure to be your source of information today.
I'm Khen Bigno, and always an honor to be part of your evening news.
And I'm Andrea Acebes. We hope our coverage was informed, inspired, and keep you connected to the world. That's all for our special coverage on science of psychology and behavior. And remember, the study of psychology continues to shape an understanding of human behavior and our quest for a better future.